Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the channel. I am Nate, and this is Peach Domino Paper Crafts. Today is day 3. Ignore that. I seem to have ink on my finger, and I don't know why. Is day 3 of Junetober, and we are still working with the lovely kit from Elizabeth over at Petals and Parchment. And we're going to make pockets today, but first I wanted to show you how I managed to get this to work. I still haven't seen anything from Elizabeth. She's working on her stuff. The videos haven't been posted yet and such. So I watched some tutorials, and this book didn't work the same way as the tutorials. Let me zoom you in a little so you can see. So what I did is I cheated. I folded this up, and my covers were a little long to stay inside the folds, so I did have to chop them off just a little bit, but that's okay. And then I took these long strips, and you can see there are 5 pieces per strip, and I folded up, or sorry, down, up, down, up, so that you got this flap right here. You have 2 pages, and then you have a little flap. And I did that again on this one. Down, up, down, and up. And then I just turn this one upside down. And those will go inside our covers. But then we've got these 2 pages here. How do we connect them together? So the last flap, or the last strip, also has 5, but I cut one off. And I took and folded it in half, and then in half again, so that I have 2 flaps. And I'm just going to slide this flap into this one, and this flap into that one. And then we have our book pages. See, I'm going to zoom you out just a tiny bit, so watch yourself. Wrong way, wrong way. Okay? So here's how we're going to do that. After you get your pages folded, you're going to take your first, and you're going to measure, and it's a little long, so I'm going to cut it off. I don't really have a set amount that I'm cutting it off. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. That works. And I'm going to get my glue, and I'm just using my Aleene's, my watered down Aleene's. And I'm going to squirt some glue around the edges. And I'm going to line up crease with crease so that it folds right. Just kind of crease that so that you get it in right. Yeah. And then press it down. Take your bone folder if you want, and just press it down real good. Okay, so you've got that in, and then we need this page to fold over. So I'm just going to take my Aleene's again. You can use any glue you want here. I'm just using the Aleene's because I just filled it up, and well, this isn't something I'm going to use every day. It's going to sit. I'm going to make a little mini bookshelf one day, and these are all going to sit on that little mini bookshelf. So the Aleene's will hold. Okay, and then we're just going to fold it up. I didn't think that part through, did I? You know what? I might have folded it in the wrong place. I might have needed to fold it back there. But it's already done now, and yeah. We're going to take not our 4-page, our 5-page, and we're going to take our little flap, and we're going to line it up, see that it's too long, cut it off. I don't care that the pages stick out a little bit. I'm still learning. And you know what? That's part of learning, is sometimes the pages are going to stick out a little bit. On your glue. Might print this again and make another copy once I see how Elizabeth does it. And maybe then it'll make a little more sense to me, and I can make it look the way she intended it. A little more glue. Fold it over. Okay. So we've got us a good start there, right? And we just want to fix it so that they all stick together, and that when you open it, it doesn't pop out like that. So we're going to lean our pages out, and we're going to take this one and glue it in there. I'm just going to add some glue to one side or the other, doesn't matter which one. And in order to get all the folds correct, you're going to glue inside of the line. You don't want it on the line, you don't want it past the line, you want it inside of the line. Okay, so then we glue that in like that. And then we'll take this one, and we're going to put it on like this. See? And this one, we're going to take and glue this side. You can glue either side, but I'm gluing this side. And I might have should have glued all the pages together before I put it in, because now it seems like it might be a little crooked. But you know what? That's okay. We got this. Now, something you can do so that it doesn't just zoom out like this is you can glue your pages together. Again, I should have done this before I, got started. But you'll just go in anywhere you have a mountain, which is where it folds like this. Not this part, but this part. You glue those two together. So see, I have my mountain, and those pages go together like that. We're going to put the glue inside of that area. And it's a little hard for you to see, because it's a little hard for me to see. And then we're just going to fold our page over, press it together. Don't fold these two together. Okay, we have that one. We're going to turn that page and fold this mountain. And the more these you get folded and glued, the harder it's going to be to get done. So that's why I said we probably should have done this before we glued it into the book. I don't always think these things ahead. Okay, press that down. Okay, don't glue these two together. Turn the page. Make sure it worked. Turn the page. Pop it out as best you can. Get your glue up in there. Go from both sides if you have to. Press it down. Try to line your pages up so that you don't see any white pieces. Okay, turn that page. Open it up. Now, on this one, I'm going to do 2 pages at once. which is going to be a little more difficult, but we're going to get it done. We're going to go in. We're going to glue on this side. And we're going to go in from underneath and glue on that side. And then we're going to go over here and glue this one. And go up underneath. And then we're going to press both of these down at the same time. We're going to press that one just like that. And then fold it over this way somehow, one way or the other, and press that. And then press that again. Not perfect, but that's because of the way things are in the book. So my spine's a little thick there maybe, but there we go. We have Tales from the Grave. You can round it up just a little bit, do whatever you need to do, but there's that. Now I'm going to zoom you back out, because we're about to make some pockets, and I want y'all to be able to see what we're doing. So we're going to start with these pockets here, which came with the kit. They are designed for the kit, which is nice. Always nice when you get extra pockets. Now let's see. I'm going to grab my scoreboard out, and we're going to go ahead and get all these scored. Okay. Try to keep you in frame here. So on this one, you see how you got this seam right here where you've got the faux inking right there? That's going to be where you're going to line it up. You're going to go this edge, and you're going to line it up just so that the edge of this flap right here is not in your seam, and you're just gonna score it there. You're gonna find the next one, which is right here, which gives you a little flap right there. Line it up, score that one, turn it around, line it up for this one. I don't always cut the best, so my lines may not be perfect. Score it, and then we're gonna get everything scored, and then we'll do the folding. Now these ones are a lot easier to see because you just have the color difference there. So you just line it up along the line, score it, turn it, and score it, turn it, and score it, and then do the same with the rest. Oops. Hope everyone's having a good day today. Did you go over and check out the video for the YouTube hop yet? Make sure you go do that and get your token. And then go over to the Petals and Parchment Facebook group and work on her challenge for the month, or the week, her Junetober challenge. I did find out all 4 of the creators have their own challenge that they're going to do in addition to the YouTube hop. So make sure you're checking those out and doing those. Go see what the freebie is for the day. I can't remember which ones are getting released on which day, so I can't specifically show you. Just know that some of what you see here might be a freebie. It might not be in the kit. And we're not only using these pre-made pockets, I'm going to show you how to make some pockets. Because if I just use these pre-made pockets, it would be a kind of short video. Okay, so we're going to take our scoreboard and set it aside. We'll need it again later. And then we're going to bring back up in the hole. Put your glue back together because you don't want it to dry out. Okay, so we're in our bone folder or whatever you're going to use to burnish these edges, because you need a nice crisp edge. I mean, I guess you don't need a nice crisp edge, but it helps. I like to put the sides and then the bottom, because when you're sliding things down in, it makes it to where it'll come in easier. If you put the bottom down first, and then your sides, then when you slide things in, it might get stuck on the edge. You don't want that. Okay. Burnish this one. And this one. As of the day of filming this, which is not the day you're seeing it, but as of the day of filming this, I had family in this past weekend, which was fun. Got to see my nieces, my nieces and nephews. I word it that way because my nieces is it's her boys that are the nephews. So sometimes I think of her as like a sister-in-law. Sometimes I forget. Pardon me. It's still early in the morning. And I know you're thinking, how do you forget what relation they are to you? Well, I have ADHD. I forget what relation. I forget sometimes that my mom even exists, and that's not a slight against her. It's just object permanence. If I can't see it right in front of me, if I can't see someone right in front of me, they don't exist. I don't know what I'm gonna do right here yet. I don't think I want to put a pocket on that. So we're gonna open this up and we're gonna see what we got. We've got this pocket here, which might look good next to her. I do, however, want to round these corners at the top. I don't necessarily want these square corners. I'm not going to worry about the bottoms, but I'm going to take this kind of and refold just a little bit. So there it goes like that. Yep. And in doing so, I'm also going to do the bottom that way. So sometimes you're going to readjust what you did. Sometimes you're just not going to like the way you did it, and you're going to want to redo it, and that's okay too. Just make sure you go back and burnish it again. No. Don't see that? I did it again. Look. Look here, pal. Okay, it's gonna be finicky, so make it work. Look here, see? And my leans right there. Go ahead and fold that up. Push it down. You better cooperate with me when I get you glued. Do not make me come over there. Don't glue on your page like I'm doing now. Get a glue sheet. I just know that I'm just barely putting any glue on this. So it's not going to be as much of a bother to me because it's not going to seep out. But sometimes I'm very bad about glue, so. Now, you can do this one of two ways. You can glue it down completely, right here. I guess you could do it one of three ways. You can glue it down this way, which Nah. Or you can do it this way. And you can put a line of glue here and here. Well, you could put a third line of glue and have a whole nother pocket, but I'm going to leave it as a tuck. And we're just going to glue it on those two. Burnish it down a little. And then we've got a tuck. Where we can put, I seem to have missed a pocket, but we can put something in here like this. We can put something in here like this. So let's see. Let's go ahead and skip that one too for now. Okay, we'll take this one. I have all three of those, four of these that could go here. Not that one. Just not this one either. So two possibilities here. I think I'm gonna go with this one. And I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue right here. Put a little bit of glue right here. I hope I'm still in frame for y'all. A little bit of glue on the bottom. Give myself a little border type situation there. I can glue that down. Okay. And we've got 4 more pockets, and I've glued in 2. Let's see. Let's get that one for now. We'll use this one. And like I said, we're not done with pockets once we get these glued in, because I'm going to make some pockets also, so that you can see a bit of variety here, there, and yonder, you know. Border going on there. Alright. Oh, don't ask me, I got no clue. Trying to figure out how I want these pockets, because technically okay, so with this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the flaps off all together. Because I'm not going to use it as intended, and the flaps are going to get in my way. So I'm going to put glue here, here, and here. Is that correct? Yes. Make my little border and lay it down. Okay. Skip a couple of pages. This one might still get used as intended. Okay. Glue it down. Skip a couple of pages. And then I'm just going to go ahead and cut these off rather than try to score it right now. And I'm going to give myself a thumb hole. We're going to pull out our punch, stick it right in the middle, foof it out like that. Yes, foof is a technical term. Thank you. A little glue. Okay, now, I feel like that's not nearly enough pockets. Really, we need more pockets. So let's make some pockets. So, we're going to take our pattern paper. I'm going to do all the decorating later. I'm not going to do the decorating today. Just so you know. I'm going to make some stacked pockets, I believe. What is a stacked pocket? Well, that's where you have pockets that line up something like this on your page. And you have several of them, and they, you know, taller to smaller. I like this, but I don't want to lose my corners here, so we're going to set that aside. I'm going to use this for my tallest. Now, what goes good with that? We have a good dark color. We'll put that right there. It's a little busy for this. That's dark on dark. We don't want that. Maybe. Let's see what else. I'm not feeling that floral right there. This is nice, but because of this frame, I'm going to wait and use that somewhere else. Dark on dark. Remember to give it a little vibrancy. Just a little. It doesn't have to be a lot. Get that out of the way. Now, I like this one, but not for a middle pocket. So I think I'm going to hold off on that. I might use it for the bottom. What about you in the middle? I'd have to be very specific. That could work. And then we'll put this at the bottom. So we just have to decide first how tall we want our pocket, because you don't want it to go all the way up, right? So let's go... We could leave about an inch. Yeah, so let's do a 7-inch tall. And I want this to still show. So 3 inches wide, roughly. Okay, so I'm going to pull out my paper cutter. Open up the side flap. Now, first thing I'm going to do is cut. This was going to be our bottom. We're going to cut it 3 inches tall. So, we're just going to go over here. Set it at 3 inches. Or 3 inches wide, sorry. Set this. Actually, that's perfect. That way I don't have to mess up this whole sheet. Over here to get my perfect pocket. So we're going to turn this around that way. Because what I want is the head of one of these beasts. Yes, I called it a beast. What are you going to do about it? Ha ha ha. Ouch. I guess that taught me. And then these three, I'm not all too fussed about. Line them up along the side here. Leave them at 3 inches, see what that gets me. Okay, I am fussed about this one, so move that. 3 inches. Okay, we got that one. Those two, I mean. Now, I want this to be 3 inches. But I want that 3 inches to be right about here. Let's see how that looks. Yeah. That'll be nice. It's a little off center, which is perfect. Okay, so start with our first one. And we want it to be 7 inches tall. So we just go and we measure to 7 inches. Got the bottom off. And then we have to decide how tall we want the rest. We've got this one that's going to go right here. If we do an inch at a time, then we're going to be 6, 5, 4, 3. Yeah. That way you see what's going on here. This was going to be our next one. So this one will go to 6 inches. Set that aside and put this here. Five inches. 4 inches. And 3 inches, which gives us some good scrap paper here that we can make tags or journal cards out of later. Or maybe more pockets. I don't know. We haven't decided yet, have we? Now, to keep all the holes in the same place, we're just going to take and we're going to line it up at the tops. Line it up to one side-ish. Take our hole punch. Put them in. Figure out if that's roughly center. And then hold it tight while you get it around here to where you can get a good grip. That might not be feasible for everyone. That almost wasn't feasible for me. You may have to line it up. Just do it. That's rough. That was not something I planned on doing again. Yeah, it's pretty. All our holes are in the same place, but my goodness, that hurt. Okay, back to our page here. Now the easy part. We're just going to go and put our glue on the back. Across both sides. Just a thin line. And the bottom. Put it in your book. And voila, we got our first pocket down. Now you could ink these, which I might should have done, but I didn't. Because I always forget to ink. And we're just going to go from the... Turn them over so they're lined up. Make it easier on yourself. Glue. I don't recommend double-sided tape for this because double-sided tape will be sticky the rest of its life. And you're going to put something down in there and it's going to get stuck to the tape and you won't be able to get it out. So use wet glue for this. Don't use stick glue for this. Because they tend to be thick and hard to be precise with. And in my experience, most of them don't even work most of the time anyway. Unless you get so much on there of it, it's just not practical. Alright, we're almost done. And then we'll make a zigzag pocket. There was easier ways to make a zigzag pocket than what I'm going to do, but I cannot remember for the life of me how to do it. So my zigzag pocket is going to cheat and be cut and paste instead of fold and paste. But you'll see. I printed about 3 copies of each one of these background papers so that I'd have plenty of options. And then on the backs, I just printed different ones on each one. So, you know, you may see this raven paper with each one of these on the back. I don't know. Can't tell you to be certain, but there it is. Try to line them all up perfectly. I don't always get them all perfect, but there's a stacked pocket. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pockets. Okay? So we're going to come over here to... We're leaving him alone. I'm going to go here to make my zigzag pocket. Now, I'm just going to take up the whole page. I'm just telling you. We're going to cover up the whole page. But I do want borders. So, again, I'm going to cut this to 7 inches tall. But I'm cutting the whole page this time. Not that I'm going to use the whole page across, but... And then our page is 5 1/4. And I left a 1-inch border, so 4 1/4. So we're going to go to 4 1/4. Okay. Now, want to do a zigzag, right? Well, I'm not going to be precise with my measurements, but just going to line one corner, top left, top right, doesn't matter. It can go either way. Line one of your top corners up inside the track of your cutting tool. If you're using scissors, just use a ruler and draw it first. And to one side, to the other side. Don't go all the way to the bottom. That wouldn't make very good. Just pick a spot. And then, boom, we are started. So that's our first piece. Now, our second piece, while it would be nice to just, right, because it does fit, that is not what we're going to do. We're going to use this as an angle guide, okay? But we're going to measure from here to here, because that's how tall our next piece needs to be. And that is 4... a little over 4 1/4. Okay. So, I do want to use this. I like this. So, we're going to do, I don't know why I put that away, 4 1/4. A little lower, 4 1/4. There's our height. Alright, let's make sure. Yes, it's very close, if it's not exact. And then 4 1/4 for our width. Okay. And then if you want to make it look like it belongs, you see how this one came off of there? You just take it, flip it down, and put the short edge here. And that's going to be your angle. Now you got a couple options. You can mark it with a pencil and cut it with some scissors. I am going to one day stop hitting the camera, but I'm going to mark it with a pencil and then cut it on my paper cutter. Somehow it doesn't quite line up to the corner, so I'm just going to fudge the numbers a little and make it line up to the corner, because it's always best if it lines up to the corner. Okay, set that aside for a second, and then there's two pieces. Okay, and then you're going to have one more piece that's going to go here. So we're going to be two and 3/4. Perfect. So we're going to go to wait a minute. I can't count. That's 1 3/4. No, something was wrong. 1 3/4. Just like that. And 4 1/4. Like that, even though you will not need nearly 4 1/4 for this. Okay. Now we want to take the shorter piece that came off of here. That is not it. This one? Yes. Okay. Take this one, turn it over, scoot it down, line it up at the corner. That out of the way so you can see. You don't need 100 of these all the same way. The dog's trying to get in the door, y'all. I don't know why he always wants in the door, but if I let him in the door, then while I'm filming, he'll open the door and get out, because he can open the door to get out, but not in, because of the way the door, swings. But he'll open the door to get out, and then he'll not close it. We haven't taught him how to close the door yet. And everybody will think I'm not filming, and they will want to come and visit, which is not ideal when you're filming. Okay, so that's going to be how that works. Now, you want more stuff here, do less of an angle. If you did less of an angle, you could have this a little up and this a little, somehow that would go, and then you could have another one. Geometry. I think it's geometry. Then we're just gonna take this. I haven't been in math in so long. Geometry is shapes. I know that. Algebra is where you're looking for your x. Never took calculus, so I'm not really sure about calculus. Always liked math as a kid. I like math now, I just don't always classify which type of math I'm doing. I just do. Did y'all have a favorite subject when you were in school? I liked math. Science was fun. I enjoyed science, especially chemistry. Although you wouldn't know that by my high school records in chemistry. But that wasn't because it was chemistry. That was because all of my friends had a different lunch than I did. I missed like 100 and some odd days. There's only 180 days in a school year. And I think I missed 108, 110 days in chemistry. I don't know how it got that far before they, called my mother, but they eventually did. And I had to take a makeup test at the end of the year in a different school to prove I could pass chemistry, so I didn't have to take it again. It's just a whole mess. I should have gone to class. It would have been much easier, much more fun, and I'd know more stuff. So, yeah. Geography, not my best subject. Not my worst, but not my best. Economics was a good one. I took home ec and U.S. economics. Hated English. I could read, and I can read and do write. I can't speak apparently. I can read. I can write essays and all of those type of things. But I didn't like doing it in class. It just wasn't fun if I had to do it in class. Okay, let's see. Let's do one more pocket before we're done for the day. Let's see. I'm trying to think what kind of pocket we want to do. Give me just a second. Let me look at some things so I can figure out what type of pocket I'm going to do. No. Okay. So I got on the YouTubes over there and I looked and I figured out what I want to make, but it's way too involved. So we're going to fake it. We are going to fake it. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of our fancy paper, whatever pattern you want. Cut a 4-inch square. Okay, and that's too short. Okay, 4-inch square. And that's going to be our back piece. And then for our front piece, we're going to get a different piece. Let's go with this one. And I'm going to cut another 4-inch square. See, they do this whole involved thing to make it. And I feel like this should be so much quicker. Which probably isn't the best way to put this together, but that's what we're doing. So we're going to take this piece, turn it this way, and fold it in half diagonally, corner to corner. Line it up. Burnish it down. Okay. And then we're going to glue it here. I need another sheet. Yes, I do. I need one more. So we're going to take this one here and cut a 4x4 square out of it too. Lots of 4x4 squares, 3 of them to be exact. And mine is going to be so much quicker than theirs. But you'll see. Yes. Okay. So we're going to take our glue and a glue sheet because I don't want to ruin my desk here. And we are going to run a bead of glue along the top and left side of the back sheet. Whatever you want to show on the back, because it will show on the back. This side will show. This side will not. And then in your front sheet, this side will show. This side will not. And you're going to line it up in that corner. Corner to corner. Side to side. Just like that. Okay? And that's how that's going to do. That's all that's going to do. Everything you're doing with this page, done. Well, in that regard. Then you're going to take this and take your creased side. It's going to go at the top. The sides are going to go at the bottom. Okay? So you're going to glue along the back side of your open parts. Some of you may know exactly what I'm doing and be thinking, that's not how you do that. You're right, that's not how you do that. I said that. That's how I'm doing it. Because not everything has to be done exactly the same. You can do 1,000 things to this. You can go follow a tutorial. I'll leave you one in the comments or in the description below. And this time I'll actually leave it. And there you go. That's it. That's all we're doing. Why, you ask? Because what we just made is a pocket that slides onto the corner of your page. Okay? And you have a pocket, and you can flip it up. You can put some writing space here. You can decorate here. But yeah, that's it. That's all there is to it. And I don't know, I didn't watch the full tutorial. I have before, but I didn't this time, so I'm not 100% sure all their steps, but those are all of mine. 3 4-inch squares, glue 2 of them, fold 1 of them, and glue it down, and bam, you're done. So there's our pockets for the day. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you come back tomorrow. I can't tell you what I'll be doing. I haven't decided yet. And let me know. I will leave the tutorial for this in the description below. If you want me to do one their way and my way and do kind of a comparison, I will do that after Junetober's over. Just let me know. And I will see y'all tomorrow for the next one. Bye.